Alright, so we do have a bit of a glare going, but in this video we're gonna quickly go over how to set up your iPad Pro. Alright, so in order to turn it on, you are just going to hit this button right here. This is the power button. You're gonna hold that. And after you hold that for a bit, it'll power on. It's going to take a little bit of time to power up. Now, as you can see, it says hello. It says hello in all these different languages. What you're going to do, you're going to swipe up, and then you're going to select your language. I speak English, so I'm going to hit English. And we are in the United States, so I'm going to select the United States. And right here, you can either set it up manually, which that is what we're going to do. We're going to assume you haven't had any previous iPads or anything. This is your first iPad. And yeah, we're going to set it up like it's a brand new iPad. So we're going to set up manually. And then we need to connect it to a Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to really quickly set it up with my home Wi-Fi network. All right, now that we've got it connected to Wi-Fi, I'm going to hit next. It's just gonna take a few minutes to activate the iPad. So yeah, we're just gonna wait right here for it to do its thing. After that, it's just gonna talk about data and privacy. You can either learn more or hit continue. I'm going to hit continue. And then right here, you actually, if you want to set up Face ID, you can set up Face ID right here, or you can either choose not to do that at all, just set up a Touch ID passcode, or set up later. So I'm personally going to hit set up later, and now it's going to ask to create a passcode. It initially gives you the space for a 6-digit passcode. If you want more or less, you can actually configure that right here at passcode options. You can do a custom numeric code, a 4-digit code, or you can even not use a passcode if you don't want to. For the sake of this video, I'm just not going to use a passcode. And it's going to let you know if you do decide to do that, that not using a passcode is that using a passcode is highly recommended. And you know what? It's kind of making me second guess myself a little bit, so I'm going to create a passcode. All right, so you just put in your passcode twice and everything checked out. You have a few options. You can either restore from a previous iPad if you have one already. I do have some. Or you can transfer data directly from a Mac, PC, anything like that. Or you can set it up brand new, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to transfer anything. This iPad doesn't really have the most memory. Got the smallest one. So yeah, we're not going to do anything for that. All right, now it's going to ask you to either create an Apple ID, or if you already have one, sign into your Apple ID. I am going to sign into my Apple ID because I already have one, and because I don't want to have to buy other apps again. So yeah, if you do have an Apple ID, I recommend signing in to one that you already have instead of creating a new one. One thing that I did run into whenever I was setting up my Apple ID, it asked me to verify on some of my other devices. So if you don't have access to any of your devices, or it's just been a long time since you accessed it, you may have to go through and answer some of your old personal questions. This part can kind of be a headache if you don't know your information, but yeah, definitely recommend if you can get into your Apple ID using that one. All right, that was the terms and conditions. All I did was hit agree, because you won't be able to really do anything with this iPad if you don't agree. And then right here, it is still trying to get me to 100% verify that I am who I am. So it's now asking me to enter my password that I use on my Mac. Now it's asking if I want to set up express settings. Right now, I'm just going to skip over this. Right Here is asking if you wanted to update automatically. I'm just going to hit continue. Right here is asking if you want to set up Apple Pay. I'm going to hit set up later in settings. I probably won't be using that at all on this. Now it's asking if you want to set up Siri. If you want the voice assistant Siri, I recommend setting up Siri. I will be setting it up. But as for now, I'm going to hit set up later. Screen time. This is something pretty cool that Apple does. It just lets you know how often or how much time you're spending on your phone, your iPad, whatever devices, whatever screens you have each week. Yeah, just kind of update you and let you know whether it's going up or going down, and can really help you achieve some healthier goals if you really want to be aware of stuff like that. I'm going to hit continue. This is asking if you want to share app analytics with developers. I'm going to hit share just because I love the idea that if I have an issue with an app, that issue will help improve further issues for other people. So yeah, I'm going to hit share. And then right here, true tone display. This is asking, this is kind of where Apple adjusts the brightness on its own according to your settings. I personally am not a fan of it, but a lot of people like it. So I'm personally going to do see without true tone. Oh, so that's what it looks like without true tone. This is with true tone. So it kind of just makes adjustments on its own. So I'm going to hit continue. And this is having you pick light or dark mode. I personally like my stuff in dark mode most of the time, but for the sake of this video, we'll leave it in light mode. Let me just quickly show you what it would look like in dark mode. Notice that everything got dark, including the lettering is nice and dark now instead of white. And light mode, it's the opposite. So yeah, we're going to hit continue now. And now it says welcome to iPad, and we can get started and we'll be good as in here. Boom. Just like that, your iPad is set up.